So hey, what's up you guys, this is DarthZadyBun for ZHM Entertainment, and today I am having a look at this amazing piece by Kotobukiya. So as is always the case with statues, we will be talking today about the aesthetics and the age factor of the statue. Before we go on though, I'd just like to take a moment to talk about the only included accessory with this piece, and that of course is the display base. The included display base boasts the modern era bat insignia, and it's a fairly straightforward base, quite large. The only issue I found though is that the little pegs here are actually somewhat loose, and in addition to that, they don't exactly fit into the actual peg holes under the statue. So what I found myself having to do was having to dig in a little here at the bottom to actually get the statue to fit on the pegs. I did lose a little bit of the stability in my piece, so I'm not sure if this is a challenge that is faced by every single unit of the statue in this line, but it's definitely something I had a problem with over here. But that being said, just a minor niggling detail, nothing that takes away from the actual sheer awesomeness of the statue itself. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take it step by step and start by looking at the aesthetics. When it comes to aesthetics, what we look at is the overall appeal of the statue itself. That is, how it looks, how it moves in scenarios where it does actually move, and pretty much what will this do for your display case. You can see the statue is inspired by the artwork of Jim Lee himself, and it showcases the Dark Knight in a very, shall we say, dynamic and battle-ready pose. Now, I'm going to start with the most glaring detail, and that of course is this magnificent cape. So what you see is, just to turn the statue around, I need to invest in a lazy Susan at some point. Yeah, okay, so just turn the statue around. As you can see, the cape is sort of swirling out in the back. It's amazing. And what I like is the subtle folding, the subtle folds and the detail over here in the statue. It adds an element of realism to the cape itself. Now, bring it around here to the front. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but there is some battle damage over here on the side. The cape is sort of tattered and frayed, and that actually continues onto the other side of the cape here. Let's just try and get the statue around there, as you can see over there as well. Pretty kick-ass over. Whoops. That's what I was talking about when I say you lose a little bit of the stability. Anyway, coming back to the cape, as you can see, the cape on this end of here, it's clutched in Batman's hands, almost like that. Love this thing, truly amazing indeed. So let's bring it to the sculpted detail on the statue, on the body itself. Now I want to start off with the utility belt. As you can see, once again, the utility belt boasts the modern era pouch on the belt design. So the belt buckle itself has like a slight gold tinge to it, that's colored gold, while the rest of it has this very matte, almost sort of mustardy brown, kinda really flat looking yellow. That has got to be the worst description of a color anyway. But anyway, I think you get the point. And what I really like about it is that it boasts some really, really nice detail. As you can see, each pouch over here is individually sculpted and boasts some very, very nice weathering and other details as well. Just to pan out just a wee bit over there. As you can see on the statue overall, the sculpt work is very, very deft, very, very defined. You can see a huge bulging, as you can see, a very bold and imposing version of Batman, just the way it should be done. I don't really take to those designs of Batman that have him sort of like scrawny and skinny. I'm not a fan of that at all. So anyway, coming back to the musculature, as you can see, the musculature is very deftly sculpted over there, and I've got to say that I truly love the way they did the shading, because there's some nice dry brushing all throughout the figure that really accentuates all of the musculature and all of those details as well. This is a truly amazing version of Batman. So to round out our consideration of aesthetics, I love the way it came out, and it's almost as though some of Jim Lee's artwork was pulled off a comic book page and rendered in 3D, as you see over here. Which brings us now to the next consideration, which of course is the age factor. So for those of you who don't know, the age factor is of course a generic standard that I've coined, which basically measures the degree to which a figure excites you. So you get an ish with excitement, and of course the ish, yeah, with disappointment. Now this figure itself, let's look at it. When you consider this particular statue, what you find is that you have a very bold, very imposing, very brilliantly sculpted Batman figure. I mean, really. So as I was saying, with my particular unit, there was the challenge with the base, the foot pegs, and of course the holes in the feet for the actual foot pegs. But like I said, I'm not sure if that's something that is unique to my unit, or if it's something that extends to the rest of the range. With that being said though, the statue itself is made out of a fairly robust and durable PVC material. So in as much as my one has taken a tumble more than a few times, there's absolutely no damage to it at all. So this thing can take a beating just as any Batman should. So I'm very, very happy with it. In addition to that, the actual cape itself, brilliant, very, very happy with that. I mean, really, I don't think it gets better than this. I mean, Kotobukiya would be hard-pressed to render another version of Batman that is as dynamic and impressive as this one. Things I would have liked to have seen, I don't know, so with some of the more newer Kotobukiya statues, I mean, we do see some accessories tossed in. One of my major criticisms of Kotobukiya generally is that they do tend to rob us when it comes to accessories. I would have liked to have seen perhaps another hand. If you could remove this hand, you're popping another one that would have had maybe like a batarang in it, or perhaps sort of like if they could have, how can I put it? If they could have had sort of like a batarang, like just leaving his hand, maybe just putting a little peg over there or something, just to have like, to simulate like a batarang had just been thrown. That might have added a nice touch to it as well. One of the best Batman statues available in circulation. So yeah, if you haven't already got it, be sure to get one now. You might have a little bit of difficulty doing so. I mean, it is a slightly older statue, but think of it this way. If there were to be a statue that ought to be considered a grail, this one here right there would probably be that kind of a statue. So yeah, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for looking at the video. If you like content like this, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Be sure to check out the link below for the written review of the statue as well. There's a photo gallery over there. And I will chat to you guys soon. Ciao.